Yeah, exactly.
Wake up.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Man, woo! It has been a morning. I am like buzzing and had multiple technological breakdowns, almost an emotional, I wouldn't say breakdown, I'd just say like a rift with my wife, like an energetic, like a potential wrestling match that I actually managed to stay out of. And that was really good. Because I was the one that engaged it, so it helped that I also didn't jump in.
So you diffused it too. You engaged
That's
it
right.
and diffused it.
Yes,
But did
exactly.
you engage it so that you could diffuse it and be the hero?
We'll have to look further into that later. I'll work on that in my meditation tomorrow.
Exactly. Welcome, everybody.
It's so good to have you all here on Wake Up Wednesdays. What a beautiful family. And welcome Monique. She's our wonderful house guest, brilliant singer, coach, healer, who I've been telling you about, Daniel.
Hi, Monique. I've heard so much about you.
And Jay the healer is here. Karan,
Yay.
David. It's like a Wimbledon match today. We got like the people, the family pouring in. I've been watching lots of Wimbledon too. I feel like I'm able to deal with my frustrations with the world by watching tennis. And it's like, yeah! And then it comes back and you're like, oh shit, yeah!
Do you play tennis, Ben?
I started to again. I did as a child. I was telling Monique I actually had a grandfather that like we didn't. Let's just put it this way: the ways we were able to connect was through watching tennis. That was pretty much the only way. But he also like kind of forced it on me, and he taught me some great skills. He was one of those coaches that like would never let me win. He'd teach me something as a kid, like pool. Like shooting pool or tennis, and he was an amazing teacher, but he was a hard ass. He'd never ever let me win. So I kind of built that fierce competitive energy, and he was kind of a hard ass. So I'm now playing tennis again after healing my broken wrist. I got into it. We had tennis rackets in our car for 2 years. We've just been like, we're gonna be a yes to tennis, Cassie and I. Like, let's just have fun. And we'd never played tennis in our 9 years together.
Wow.
Turns out putting the rackets in the car, it was a step forward, but also didn't make the difference until we moved into a town where we were literally taking a walk every day past a tennis court. And we're like, all right, it's time.
It's a sign.
And we did it. We had the most amazing time. And then I broke my wrist the next day.
So it was a reminder that maybe a little bit more compassion for yourself was required.
Also, wrist guards when you're learning to roller skate are always a great idea.
Yes, that's correct.
That was a missing. So I have them now.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yes. I don't believe in stopping living your life. People would say, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing these things? You're 41. Like, my God, hello, the universe is trying to tell you something.
No.
Yeah, it's trying to tell me to just take care of myself while I have fun.
Exactly.
Right? Be more mindful. I'm going to keep living. That's why I surf with a friend who's like 20 years older than me, because I want to, that's how I want to be when I grow up.
Right. I love that. I always had older friends growing up too. It was always like there was something that I could learn. I wanted to constantly learn and grow, and I always had that point of view that I was going to receive more information from somebody who was older, more experience, more life, more this, more that. And yeah.
I did that in relationships. I'm like, ooh, what can she teach me? Let's find out.
I did that in relationship too.
That's great.
Didn't work out so well. Anyway, how does it get even better? Now I'm the older one.
Me too. How are you doing today, Daniel?
I am doing okay, to be honest with you. I am feeling the inertia of the universe and things that are coming in to play with me and play with the elements and try to test my levels of certainty. But that's okay, because absolutely we know that at the end of the day it's like we're in a collective, like we're all in it together. And it's something that has been really coming up for me this week. This most recent shooting in Chicago was like a 2 degree of separation type, not even 1 degree, 1.5 degree of separation of people that were involved. And, as those walls start to come closer and closer and closer in on you, you start to look and see, wow, it's what is it that is in my reality that I'm not aware of, that I could become more aware of. And if I were more aware of it, I could actually change the situation. And I know that for me, I'm finding that it's very, very easy to go to what people would call a dark place, right?
Oh yeah, especially if that's your familiar place.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And a little astrological influence from the sign of Cancer makes that pretty common and pretty normal. The sign of Cancer loves that moodiness, that heaviness, that
Oh my
emotion, that
god.
energy.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah,
I just spent the weekend with a cancer. Like, I'm learning so many of my closest friends are cancers. And I was like, you're describing it this morning on your downloads. And I was like, I think I've got some serious cancer in me.
because you're
Astrologically.
yeah,
Astrologically.
exactly. Let's please be clear about that. You're naturally one of those people that is that you wear your heart on your sleeve,
Mm.
and so cancers love that kind of stuff. So of course they're attracted to us. I'm the same way. I'm an empath as well. So it's something that happens naturally. But what can we do to change it, Ben? That's the question I want to share with everyone. And I don't mean change it like avoid it and get rid of it and say we shouldn't be sensitive, kind creatures. What I'm saying is how can we collectively come together to create something different? And when you proposed that beautiful question to me yesterday about working together, like working together,
Mm.
talking about working together and teamwork. I wanted to also add that element of compassion to it and see what we can create together with compassion that could be a contribution for the world, you know?
I love that, Daniel. And on that note, too, I think that's a great space to be in, that inquiry. Like, we're not looking for right answers here. I just wonder. And if you're listening, I would love for you to comment and let us know what you think could really make a difference for the world. The
Yes,
Fox Wellness Den said teamwork makes the dream work.
I love that.
I was just speaking of teamwork, the person who really brought this topic forward was our producer, Becky,
Hmm.
who is, I think she's with her follow up doctor right now. So we'll send her some healing and energy. Someone who's been so supportive and allowed us to support her. And I think one of the ways we can start coming together is
Hmm.
being willing to be supported. That's something I learned from her,
Absolutely.
and that I'm still practicing. It can be really uncomfortable for me.
Yes.
I remember when my father was dying and we didn't really have the money to cover me. I really needed to be with my family and I couldn't afford to stay there and pay rent in New York. And I started GoFundMe for myself, and just it was really uncomfortable. And it was for our family mostly, for expenses, but a lot of it was going to allow me to be able to stay with my family and do the healing we needed. And it was really uncomfortable. But also such a gift. Like, people were so generous and so willing and wanting to help.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
wonder where, if you're listening in your life, are we not allowing us to receive so much support that is there?
That's right. Exactly.
Like,
And
and
where are
where are
you
we actually
judging
pushing
yourself?
away people who are trying
Right.
to support us? Saying,
Exactly.
no,
And
no,
where
no,
are you
no, I'm going to
judging?
do this alone. I got
Right.
this.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And even if you
also,
could do it alone, why would you?
exactly. I recently heard a story. My friend Bernice, who I'm staying with here in the Hamptons, she was talking about a good friend of hers who lives out west. And every day, this woman goes hiking. And she literally goes hiking for like hours out of her day. Right. And she
Mm.
went hiking the other day last week. And this time, thank God she was with a few people because before, usually she does it alone. She was with a few people. She was doing this massive hike and she fell off a cliff. Okay? Literally fell off a cliff. and she was, I don't know the exact facts, if she was holding on for dear life. It sounds a little bit more dramatic, like maybe she was like on a shelf or something. I don't know. But they literally had to call a helicopter to come lift her out, right? Thank God she's okay, and thank God she had people with her. But that story really hit me because I've always overheard of this particular woman doing everything alone, right? She moved to California, or she moved to Colorado, Utah, to be alone, to be with nature, to be out hiking. She kind of has that energy, which I do too, quite frankly. Like, not maybe not the hiking part, but the alone part, I definitely have. And and if she wouldn't have been with people, how long would she have been stranded there out in the middle of nowhere, hanging on a cliff, right? That ability to be able to allow people into your life. That morning, whatever she said, let's put a group together, let's go together, let's do something together. Her story may be very, very different today, and it just struck me so hard. With everywhere in my life, I think that I have to do everything myself, and
Hmm.
and we don't give others the opportunity to extend and to be there for us and to be a part of that energy of compassion to help others.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I know you do. You're a great leader in that too, Ben, because you always have an incredible heart and an incredible
Hmm.
sixth sense about you too, that knows when people need help, and you're
Hmm.
like, you push people, and you push us in an amazing way that says, hey, it's okay to ask for help. I'm here for you. I need you. And I think that energy is something that is a little bit more required in me and in us, to say, hey, you
Hmm.
know what? Maybe you're not willing to see it in yourself right now, but I'm going to push you a little bit, because I know that you can grow just a little bit more if you had a little bit of help. And that's what I
Hmm.
really want to acknowledge in you. And I'm going to make my own commitment to say, hey, that's my little Ben Curtis that I'm going to take with me.
Aw.
Yeah,
I'm so moved by that. Thank you.
of course. And that's
Allow
why
me to receive that for a second, Daniel. Hold on,
please
because it's
do.
easy for me to deflect. Yeah,
It's
thank you.
also one of the amazing things, for those of you who are listening for the first time or don't really know Ben. It's one of the things that makes Ben such a phenomenal coach and such a phenomenal support, is that he has the ability to see things that really can help push you forward in your life that you can't see yourself.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Thank
so
you.
thank you. Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Received. And that's really what brought Daniel and I together, because I saw that in Daniel and I felt called forward by being in your presence. And I think that's what's really beautiful about when you allow yourself to be supported. You know, when starting a podcast is cool and trendy, and I watched people do it years ago and felt left out. And at some point, I wanted to have a conversation. I love talking to people. I love, I've gotten comfortable on camera to be able to speak through and with people, and I want to be in conversation, connected. And so,
Mhm.
but I started to get really clear as I researched podcasts, and that I didn't have the bandwidth or time. At least it didn't feel like it. Something like that on, and I just started asking for help. Start asking in my meditations, my morning prayers. And it was that week that you reached out to me and you were like, I don't know, but I really feel like I had this conversation with someone, and I'm like, Ben Curtis, we need to work together. And it was such felt like such an answer to my prayers. And I'm learning, the more I practice asking and receiving, that it's not necessarily magic. It's just, there's other people out there
Mhm.
asking for things as well. And so if we can actually get out of our own way and allow it to show up, that we can be supported. And I'm really grateful for that acknowledgement, Daniel, because that has not been a reflex for me. And I'm learning, that's a fire that lit under my ass from my father passing, something from this horrible, what felt like, the most horrible thing that could happen in my life to me. Not only my best friend, but part of my really foundation, the father wound, the father energy, that whole thing. This
Mhm.
guy who was definitely going to live at least another 10 years and was unstoppable, and Like my father was the guy that just like he had so many near death experiences. Like we had a joke, like he was like a cat, like he had multiple lives, you couldn't kill him, and then he died, right? And the gift I got from that, it almost felt like I was able to become more powerful because I could use
Sure.
that energy of his too to like remember to be of service and help people and stand for something. And I realized both my parents asked for help with emotional stuff, but not really any other areas. So I learned to ask for help, like to go see a therapist at a young age, like that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, which I realized was very rare and
Right.
extraordinary.
Yep.
But there's all these other ways, like even in my band where I still try to do everything alone. And now I ask them to help me remember to ask for help. They're like, dude, you're doing good. You're carrying everything. Like literally let us hold something. And so it's been for me a really, I just want to say it's been work for me. It's been a journey to get to a space where I can ask for help. And inside of that has been an incredible year. I've gotten some reflection of how much I'm starting to feel like the ease and the thriving going from surviving to thriving. It's because I realized I finally allowed myself to be supported. And now when my assistant isn't showing up, I'm like on him, like, hey, we didn't have our phone call now. I used to hide from him. It's like, hello, you're paying me to help you. And I'm like, well, I don't know what
I
to
know.
do.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, we have a meeting, damn it. You
Yeah.
know?
Great. Yeah, exactly. But also let's look at something. Let's look at something really, really special. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
I too, Ben, when we obviously we met, we worked together a little bit on our own. And when I had this awareness that we should collaborate together in other areas, look at how beautiful that is. Like, I heard you without hearing you. Okay. Like, I heard you energetically, and I responded because it was something that was energetic in me. So you even asked the universe. It's not even like you directly asked me, right? You energetically asked the universe, and then I physically asked you. And so if we would also, guys, just be willing today to just ask the universe. If it's hard to ask other people, ask the universe for what you're looking for. Ask the universe to bring people into your life that have compassion, that have kindness, that have love, that share the same like-minded, like-hearted vision that you do to change the world. And even though you may not be the type of person to go out there and rally and do whatever you think you that needs to happen to make your dreams come true, there are other people who that is a gift of theirs, right? Their gift is being the mover. Their gift is being the connector. And all you have to do sometimes is just say, "Hey, look, this is what I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I want to do in this world." Whether it be something you want to create, a collaboration that you want to do, or just to have a safe space. You can ask for it. You deserve it.
Hmm. Every single one of you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
if we don't
every
have a safe space, Daniel, I believe that we can ask for it. We can start to demand it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then
I
listen and see,
Mhm.
actually take the time to listen for where to go. Let our intuition guide us. This illusion that we're not safe. I mean, it's kind of like, are we really ever? And of course we always are.
Mhm.
If we die, then we die, right? That
That's
there's
right.
only, so much we can do to defense. I remember, um, I remember after 9/11, I really felt like, always.
Yeah. And what if it was just to protect yourself? I'm in this space right now where I'm asking for protection against my own uncertainty,
Mhm.
right? And I don't even know what that looks like. And what is uncertainty? Uncertainty is not having control over what you think you have control over. Really, uncertainty, the energy of uncertainty is the space to be able to let go and say, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here. And I have no control, but I'm inviting the universe to show me that there really is something greater that's unfolding here." And what I really want to inspire all of us to do right now, and I'm actually creating a call, um, a class, a workshop called "Surfing the Waves of Uncertainty." We're going to announce it later today, and
Love
you know,
that.
yeah, exactly. It's about being above the uncertainty,
Mm,
and because you can't really change it. The only way to really truly change it is to be above it and to know that that wave is going to come in. It's going to take you in. So that class I am working on, that workshop, that lecture is I'm working on, and we will announce it later today on my website, theprovocativeintuitive.com. So that is where I'm looking for compassion right now. I'm looking for compassion with myself. I'm looking for compassion with whatever those waves are that are coming in my life, and how I can ride them and say, okay, how can I make this fun? Right? And what is this opportunity that is existing for me right here, right now, that is asking me to change and step into things that I've been asking for, that I have been unwilling to accept and to change in my life? Right? So, yeah, how does it get even better? And can we be even more compassionate towards each other in this journey?
yes. Yes. There's It's really easy to point fingers right now. I feel like social media news has encouraged us to.
Totally.
And even now, I want to be mad at someone. There's a lot of rights that have been continually taken away in our country, which is supposed to be the land of the free,
Yeah.
and things that are really destructive to the human race and the globe and the climate. And
Mhm.
as a quote unquote first world country, we're trying to set some precedents, but it's really, I'm even seeing Americans leaving because this isn't
Mhm.
what this country was founded on.
Correct.
I have a lot of Native American friends, Native Indians, indigenous people who really, they've been frustrated with that from the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And just want to be
Exactly.
honored and recognized. And this country was built on a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah.
And
Right.
rather than pushing these things away, we can, I heard this speech from a civil rights leader in Chattanooga, Tennessee when I was home, and he even talked about how the South was like, we're built on top of so much bloodshed and
Right.
suffering, but it's like a Frankenstein. And this
Mhm.
doctor put a Frankenstein together and take all the, some of the good parts and these ugly things, you put them all together though, and then you put a heart inside. And there's an opportunity for us to come together and heal together. Like
Totally.
when those things came together, it created something beautiful. And it looks like a monster, but it was like this thing that wanted to love and have purpose. And so I think there's an opportunity for us to see, like, it's really easy to look at the ugly parts, but I believe there's an opportunity for us to come together, especially with those people in our lives who maybe we've disagreed with.
Right.
I talked about my grandfather. He and I had a lot of things we disagreed on, morally and from a value standpoint. But what I found was I knew he cared about me under there. So what I started to focus on, well, what are the things we both love, right? If there's someone in your life, a friend, a family member, especially a distant relative, one of those people that you've just both agreed, not to follow each other on Facebook or not to talk about politics, or you just don't talk. You avoid that person, right? Is
Sure.
there an
Totally.
opportunity to actually reach out to that person and create connection?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To focus on something you do love or they love and bring some curiosity to what they might be experiencing too, not from a right or wrong, a place of judgment, but just a curiosity and a compassion.
And a place of possibility, right?
Mm,
I mean, how awesome is that to find that that thing that inspires you that you didn't know would inspire you, and then once you ignite it, then you have a connection that you didn't even know you had before. It's like all of a sudden discovering that you have a gift or a talent or something, and running with it.
yes.
It's so cool. So how does it get even better? What else is possible, Ben? How lucky are we to have each other, to have this amazing, amazing, amazing group of people that we are so grateful for every single one of you who comes here and shows up today and is listening and is contributing. We feel your energy, we perceive your energy, and we give it right back to you in an effort to make this world and our lives more compassionate and more honest and more real and more true to who we truly be. So that is the wake up call for today. How compassionate, how much more compassionate can we be towards ourselves and towards the world, and what is required for us to be that energy all the time?
Mm,
Yeah.
I wonder. Let's find out. Let's
Let's
find
find
out
out.
this week. And
Let's
challenge everyone
find
to go
out.
connect with someone in your life who you maybe have disagreed with or judged. And maybe I really also want to encourage you to start with yourself, to start with some compassion for yourself.
Yes, please, for sure.
Put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you connect with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to remember that too. I mean, there's weeks where days I wake up and I'm like, I just go, and I'm, I still practice, and your daily downloads help me remember just pause and,
Yeah, exactly. Just taking that small 15 minutes a day for
yeah,
you is so critical and so important. It's definitely a
yeah,
game changer.
yeah. So thank you. I look forward
Thank you.
to seeing the announcement about surfing the waves of uncertainty. You know, I love surfing.
I do. I maybe you're the one that inspired it, actually. I don't really
Yes.
often think about surfing, but I just had this, you know how things come to me. I just had this vision.
Yes.
Maybe it was you who was
It's
surfing
so
in my
beautiful.
dreams. Are you
I love
surfing
it.
into my dreams, Ben
I
Curtis?
hope so.
I
That'd
hope
be
so
so
too.
fun.
Exactly.
Well, thank you
Thank you.
everyone who's joined us in this conversation. And please let us know what's landing, what's resonating. You can go to our Wake Up Wednesday Facebook page and send us DMs anywhere and everywhere. We'd love to hear from you. And
We're so
thank you so much for
grateful.
being here. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube, on the podcast, on Spotify. I believe we're on Google Podcasts as well. But definitely that really small task you can do to make a difference and support this and help get the word out to more people who could use it. And if you know someone who could use this or this might benefit them, share this with them. Like, yeah, this might be a great thing to share with that family member. I wonder, you could say, I wonder, if I enjoyed this, I wonder what you think about this episode. It made me think of you. You could just create gifts, like let us do the hard work for you.
Exactly. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ben. I love you so
Thank
much,
you,
brother. Have
Daniel.
an
I love you
amazing day.
too. You too.
See you guys
See
soon.
you all next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.